Hello, good morning. It's Tracy Daviero here with you from your VA Mentor and Kava and Gava. Welcome to another one of our weekly lives, and this one is legalities of your VA business. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I'm going to say right off the top, don't play one on TV, and I'm just going to share some of the things that I know to be useful or helpful for you in terms of the legalities for your business. Just a few different things, because I get asked these questions all the time. People get, sort of excited about starting their business, but they don't really know where to go or what information to look for or where to find the information that they need. And so sometimes that's what these calls or these sessions are for, is to give you a little bit of a leg up, a little bit of maybe some insight into what you need to be doing or where to find what it is that you need. With anything legal, I would strongly suggest looking at, first of all, your government website, which I recommend all the time. The rules in your area are going to be specific to your area for the most part. Now, they might be similar to somebody else's, but asking these questions in VA groups, unless somebody lives in the same city as you, sometimes is a bit futile, right? You get a lot of answers and you never know if they're the right ones. So go to the right source for one thing. Government websites are very, very important. In terms of anything legal that you are going to be doing, like a contract or something, and I'll talk about the couple of things that you should have in place. You do want to have a legal consult, whether that's Legal Shield, which is one of the member partners of the CAVA and GAV associations, or your lawyer, somebody to look over the paperwork that you're providing to people so that you know it protects both you and them. Mostly you, obviously, if it's your lawyer, but you do want to make things fair. So just going to professionals, I think, is the most important piece of what my message is today. So I want to give you an idea of what some things are that you want to be looking at in terms of legalities. You want to register with your government at whatever level that needs to be. If you have to get a business license, if you have to get anything like that, you want to do it directly through them, and they will tell you how much it is, what it is, and all those kinds of things. Now, is it possible to not register with the government and work as a solopreneur? Yes, it is, but not in all areas. So it's really important to get the proper advice for where you are located and go ahead and do that. If you can register for taxes, if you're supposed to be charging tax to people, again, in Canada, we have a threshold of how much we need to earn in a 12-month calendar year to start charging tax. And so that's not a necessity right out of the gate, but in some places it is. If you live someplace, you have to charge perhaps a service tax and that kind of thing as well. But you also want to register a tax account with your government so that it's easy for you to make remittances and put in all kinds, basically pay money and that kind of thing as well. So again, look into those things on your government website, find out what your requirements are. And, to start, you can do the minimum, right? You don't have to do everything right out of the gate, but you do want to have the understanding of what needs to change if there are plateaus that you get to, and you will need to sign up for something or start doing something a little bit differently. Then you want to be able to know those things out of the gate. So even if you don't have to go ahead and do it, it's worth considering. You want to have a business bank account. Obviously, you want to be able to put the money for the business in one place where you can pay out and all those kinds of things. Now, again, you may be able to do that under your personal name, or you may have to have a business name or a numbered company name. It totally depends on, again, where you live, okay? So you want to look at those things as well. In terms of contracts, which I mentioned already, you do want to make sure that you have a contract in place. It doesn't matter at what level you are. It doesn't matter where you're located. It doesn't matter, what your rates are, or, whether you have all the other pieces in place. You absolutely need to work with a contract with people. Now, the caveat to that is that if you are getting clients from some of the work sites like Upwork and that kind of thing, they have their own sort of agreement process in place, right? You're the hirer or you're the worker. And so you will agree to their terms, and so you're working under their sort of their umbrella or their rules. So that's the contract in that place. What I'm talking about is when you're working one-on-one with your own clients, which I highly recommend all VAs do. You have a lot more leeway in terms of what you charge and who you work with and and how all the rules work, of course, which is one of the main things that we want to do whenever we open our business. And so you really want to make sure that you have a solid contract in place. And that, like I said earlier, means having a legal representative look it over. And so you want to make sure that you can get a contract online. There's no problem, but you can make adjustments to it as well. That's what I did when I first started. Was I made a few adjustments to what was there, and I've changed mine over the years a little bit. But it's important to make sure that you're not missing anything, or that you are going to be protected in the case that something doesn't go right with a client. I have contract on my list again, okay. Insurance. Insurance is a necessity some places in your business, and it is not required by, some other areas as 100%, right? So it's entirely up to you what kind of insurance you get. You should have some coverage for business, because in some cases your home insurance policy might be invalidated if you are operating a business out of your home and your insurance company does not know. And so it's really important to investigate this as well. You can get the minimum coverage, or you can, like with any insurance, you can increase your deductible and bring down your the amount of money that you pay on your policy, your premium, I guess that's what it's called. See, totally not an insurance expert. And so, but it is important to investigate that as well. What do you need? Some people providing different services and maybe handling things that are a little more sensitive might get, different insurance than somebody who is doing typing and calendaring or scheduling or anything like that. So you do want to look into what it is that you are doing and what coverage is available out there. Get a few quotes, absolutely, and then make your choice and get that in place too. And the only other piece, in terms of the legalities, and I wasn't really sure what to call this. I think it really is, I don't know if it's the professional services or what, but I mean, I went with legalities. I think that's okay. And is look at what your security is like. What kind of antivirus do you have on your computer to protect things? It's one thing to use, a lot of cloud storage and a lot of cloud services and that kind of thing, but you do really want to make sure that whatever you're doing with your client's information, and that comes down to contact information too, not just their, the stuff that you're handling for them. You want to make sure that you're protecting that, because those are things that can get you into trouble if you're not, if you let your kids use your laptop when you're not working. Really not a good idea. You should have your own individual laptop or computer that you can use, for your business. It's you can protect it properly by putting the right security pieces on it. And the other piece of that, and I think I don't know if I did the privacy call here, but in terms of your privacy, if you are working with Wi-Fi anywhere, you really want to investigate a VPN and a virtual private network. So you want to make sure that you're protecting the data that you're using, and you're not just using the McDonald's or the, I was going to say Tim Hortons, but this isn't all Canada. So, Starbucks, we'll say Starbucks Wi-Fi. It's totally okay to go and work off-site. I know that that's what a lot of VAs like to do, but you want to make sure that you're protecting all the stuff that you're sort of working on and putting out there. So that's really important as well. And privacy, again, just protecting the privacy of the people that you are handling information for, and that you are, collecting their info anywhere. You want to be able to protect that on your systems and that kind of thing as well. So that is the basics of legalities with your VA business. I hope that's helpful for you. I would love to hear your questions and comments. Just pop them down below, and that's it. I'll see you next week. Take care.